Assalamualaikum and hi. Today we are going to learn about the chemical reaction in group 1. Stay tuned.
Hi. Hi.
Can you guess what are the elements in group 1? The elements in group 1 is hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Group 1 metals are the most reactive metals on the periodic table and do not exist free in nature. Do you know that hydrogen is a non-metal? So hydrogen is not considered as alkali metal. However, in this video, we will look deeply in lithium, sodium, and potassium. In group 1, there are three main chemical reactions that occur, which are first, the reaction between group 1 with water, second, the reaction between group 1 with oxygen, and third, the reaction between group 1 with chlorine. Without further ado, let us see what is happening in the reaction of group 1 with water. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium react vigorously or even explosively with water to produce aqueous metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Can you imagine how the experiment will be conducted? Firstly, we need to cut the metal in group 1 into the small pieces to avoid explosion. The bigger the size, the greater the explosion will be happen. The metal will float because lithium, sodium, and potassium has density lower than water, while rubidium, cesium, and francium has higher density than water. Lithium, sodium, potassium will move around the surface of water and dissolve in the water. The colorless gas is released around the metal and produces the pop sound when ignited with the lighted wooden splinter. When lithium reacts with water, it will produce the aqueous of lithium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Relatively, lithium has a low reaction. Fizzing can be seen and heard at its react. When sodium reacts with water, it will produce the aqueous of sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. The lump of sodium moves swiftly on the surface of water with fizzing sound. Hydrogen release catches fire and causes the ball of sodium to dash across the surface. When potassium reacts with water, it will produce the aqueous of potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Potassium reacts more violently than sodium and lithium. It reacts violently with water, moves very fast on the surface of water, and burns with lilac flame. Next is the reaction between group 1 with oxygen. When group 1 metal reacts with oxygen gas, it will produce metal oxide, and this metal oxide will dissolve in water to produce alkali. Lithium, sodium, and potassium burns in gas jar and produce white oxide powder after reacting with oxygen. The white powder is the oxide of lithium, sodium, and potassium. When lithium reacts with oxygen, it will produce lithium oxide. Lithium burns with red flame and produces white powder immediately after reaction. When sodium reacts with oxygen, it will produce sodium oxide. Sodium burns with bright yellow flame, forming white powder immediately after reaction. When potassium reacts with oxygen, it will produce potassium oxide. Potassium burns with very bright purplish flame, forming white powder immediately after reaction. And lastly, the reaction between group 1 and chlorine gas. When group 1 react with chlorine gas, it will produce white metal chloride. The reaction is quite same as oxygen. Lithium, sodium and potassium burns in gas jar and produce white oxide powder after reacting with chlorine gas, which is the metal chloride. When lithium reacts with chlorine gas, it will produce salt of lithium chloride. Lithium burns slowly with a reddish flame and a white solid is produced. When sodium reacts with chlorine gas, it will produce salt of sodium chloride. Sodium burns brightly with a yellowish flame and a white solid is produced. When potassium reacts with chlorine gas, it will produce salt of potassium chloride. Potassium burns very brightly with a purplish flame. A white solid is produced. As we can observe from the reaction of group 1 with water, with oxygen, and with chlorine gas, we can observe that the reaction is getting more vigorous from lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. So why this happened? This is due to the reactivity of element. The reactivity of element is increases down the group 1. As we go down to the group 1, the atoms get larger as the principal number get larger. The outer electrons get farther from the nucleus. The attraction between the nucleus and outer electron gets weaker, so the electron is more easily to lose. Hope you enjoyed with this video. See you soon. Bye bye.